Hello, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. Today's topic is quite personal to me. And because it is personal to me and because I have experienced it, I think it's important that I talk about it. Especially since it involves, abuse of women in general. But, my adoptive mother's ex-husband turned out to be gay. And, yeah, that was quite a weird time, before their inevitable divorce. But, as that goes, the reason I bring it up is because that ex-husband, even though, the doctors say that he's a, what's it called? It's a mental disorder that he has that I'm trying to think of. What is it? I just completely slipped my mind right now. Hold on, let me see if I can look it up. I think this, it's important that I look it up, to really give this context, so that you guys understand, exactly what's going on with this video that I'm putting out here. There it is. He was diagnosed with bipolar, and there was another one. It was a different type of bipolar. See if I can find it. See if I can find the exact terminology here. I want to be, I want to make sure that I get that I'm, being completely honest with you guys. Manic bipolar. That's what it was, manic. So, my mom's ex-husband was manic bipolar, but he was also very Christian and gay. So, here's the thing about it. Even though he was manic bipolar, the fact that he was, a gay man trying to live a Christian life with a fundamentalist Christian life, evangelical Christian life, where you have to denounce being gay and you have to take up a normal relationship. I believe this caused him to be very abusive towards my adopted mother. And we see that a lot with these gay people who go into fundamentalist Christianity, and they convert it to being straight, and they take a wife, and what happens is, in my experience, having experienced this, is that they're not really straight. They don't really convert. They're, they just don't make it obvious to their congregation, their church, the people in the church, their priest, the people they're friends with who are Christian, that they are going behind, their wife's back to their wife's back. It's not really a wife if you're not marrying for the right reasons. You're marrying just because, your church and your religion tells you that's what you have to do. That's not really, a marriage. It's more of a cult binding, if anything. But yeah, what I've seen is, from this experience, from having had a adopted dad who was gay and in a straight relationship with a woman, is that they will cheat on their wives, on their partners. Not wives. They're not really wives, as I said. But they will cheat on their partners, and they will go behind the church's back to see the people that they're truly sexually attracted to, And then they will go to church and pretend like, they're not still heavily attracted to men, and that lifestyle. And what happens when they do this is because they become, bitter. They become angry. They become abusive, either physically or verbally or emotionally. And unfortunately for my mother's situation, it was all three of them. He was emotionally manipulative. He was physically violent. He would, throw stuff off the shelf. He would break things in the house. He would yell and scream when he didn't get his way, because he was in denial of who he was. He was in denial of what he was. And not only that, he was also, manic bipolar. So you combine those two together, someone who is deeply repressing who they truly are, with manic bipolar disorder, and you've got one hell of a chaotic mess that is going to end up being very violent and very, abusive towards, everyone involved. And I still have trauma from that experience. It is one of the main reasons why, even after they got divorced and I stopped, hanging out with him, that I didn't really speak a whole lot. Because back then, when he would be home, because he couldn't keep a job because he didn't want to be told what to do, if we were loud, while he was sleeping during the day, he would get angry at us, or he would throw us outside of the house and tell us to go somewhere else. And so, that experience stayed with me, and it's still there. It hasn't left. um, but as I've said in previous videos, I am trying desperately to get into therapy, which is an entire mess because the U.S. economy, when it comes to mental health, is absolutely garbage. But I am trying to get into therapy to deal with those things. But as I was saying, it's still there. It's still stuck with me. And these Christian fundamentalist groups who are, promoting this type of lifestyle is putting people in danger. It is putting people's women's lives in danger, especially because these gay men can become very violent towards these women. They can become very, agitated and emotionally or verbally abusive towards these women because they are repressing and denying themselves their true, who they truly are. And so we see what these fundamentalist groups really are. We see their true colors. They're not really concerned with the lives of other people. They're not concerned with, whether or not, telling somebody who's gay to renounce their gayness and to start a Christian life with a woman is, going to end up getting that woman, putting that woman in danger of their life, or in danger of, having some type of trauma or abusive household until such a time where, she can't take it anymore and they have to get a divorce. And I believe that's a thing for, every relationship that happens, every relationship that starts from, this Christian fundamentalist belief of, of renouncing being gay and starting a normal, straight Christian life. It's just very, 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 very harmful. And the fact that these people are happy about it, that they are praising this type of backwards relationship, an abusive dynamic, putting this abusive dynamic into practice, and then especially if they have kids, putting this type of traumatic chaos into their life, especially, is going to take years and years of therapy to work through these problems, to work through all of the trauma that they're going to go through. If this Christian lifestyle goes sideways, and inevitably it will, because a relationship that's not based in actual attraction and love is never going to work, and it's never going to stick. It's only a matter of time before it falls apart, and that's what happened with the people that I live with now. I'm not actually really sure if I should call her my mother with the way that she has treated me in the past with my coming out as transgender. and the way that she reacted to it, I don't think it was very mother-like. I don't think it was. I don't think it was how a mother should handle that situation. But as I've said before, the Christian lifestyle really got in the way of her judgment of that, of me coming out. And that's what happens. Um, fundamentalist Christians will put their religion before their own, intuition, before their own intelligence, before, they will put religion before everything that is rational. Because that is what a Christian fundamentalist belief does to people. It tells them to just believe blindly and not to look into and research anything. It just tells them to believe because they should believe, because the book tells them to believe. And then you get this whole mess of abusive households creating abusive households that create abusive households, until somebody finally, does go and get therapy, who works through their problems and breaks the cycle. And that could be who knows how many generations before that happens. Especially in the Christian fundamentalist community. There are probably several generations of people who are just repeating the same thing that their parents did to them with their kids, and then their kids are going to go off and do the same thing, and their kids will go off and do the same thing, until, somebody finally breaks out of that Christian fundamentalism and, actually does research and actually, goes and gets themselves the help that they need in order to be a better person than their parents were. And that's very difficult to do in this Christian fundamentalist cult, because the way that they brainwash the younger generation into thinking that they have the one true religion, the one truth. They have the only truth. Is very I guess I just have to say manipulative again, because I can't think of another word. But it is very manipulative. It is very mentally abusive as well towards, young children, to put them in a state of, fear of hell and fear of the wrath of their God at the same time, and to also tell them that they don't need to go, that they shouldn't be going and studying and researching, because that's going to be a detriment to their own lives in the future, their own careers, and their own education in general. It will be a detriment to them. And it's really sad that, that's just the way that Christian fundamentalism has begun to control and to manipulate these young kids in their belief system. So yeah, it's rough, and I really, I really admire and support anyone who, through all of the possibility of, losing friends, losing family, have decided to deconstruct and leave the fundamentalist Christian ideology. I support you because I know how difficult and how heartbreaking it can be to walk away from that type of belief, from that type of cult. Because the possibility of losing everyone and everything that you built up around, that belief system, around that church, around that, around that type of religion itself is, it can just destroy a person. So, it's very admirable and very needed that people like myself make these videos pointing these things out and understanding why that some of us are leaving this type of Christianity or walking away from just religion in general, because it is harmful, because it is a type of mental control, it's a type of thought control, it's a type of emotional control. That's just what it is. And so it is important that all of us make these videos so that other people who are in the middle of deconstruction, who are in the middle of, questioning their religion, questioning their faith, questioning, whether or not these things are actually moral, whether or not these things are actually right, can see these videos and they can make the correct judgment for themselves, and for women and children in general, and for their especially for their family if they have one. And the most devastating thing about leaving religion, if you have a family, is that, you could possibly lose that entire family. Your wife might, walk away and take the kids with her. And that's really sad, and that's really heartbreaking. And my heart goes out to you if you have gone through that, or are currently going through that. I know that the dogmatic fundamentalist Christian religion can really make people apathetic. It can make them uncaring of anything or anyone that is outside of that religion. And it sucks. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is, and that's the way it has been since the creation of this fundamentalist evangelical, Christian sector of religion. And that's the way it will continue to be, so long as we sit back and just let it happen. And so that's why I'm making this video and why I'm putting this out there, so that you can see my experience, so that you can hear my experience, so that you can hear the truth behind these religious cults and what's really going on within these Christian evangelical, Pentecostal fundamentalist religious groups. And this is the truth of the matter. This is real, it's raw, and it's just the truth. And there are probably going to be a lot of people who will say otherwise, who don't actually know what's going on, because they're not currently going through these types of situations, or because they haven't ever gone through these situations, because they happen to be one of the lucky ones that didn't end up with this type of thing. But regardless of those people, this is the reality of these fundamentalist groups and the harm that they do to people, and the harm they create for families and for women and for children and for the LGBT community in general. It's not good. None of it is good. And that's what I have to say about that. So, anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts and opinions. I hope this video has earned your subscription. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Shadows whisper slow, echoes breathe in misty glow. Darkness speaks its sullen prose, silence cloaked beneath the rose. Tremor shivers through the night, velvet depths I lose my sight. Stars are tears that softly fall, entranced by whispers gentle.